Alright, I'm just out doing some tree climbing and found an interesting challenge, so I wanted to film it to see how it goes. So you can see there's this nice big tree with lots of branches right here, but this first branch is pretty high up off the ground and they're dead, so I wouldn't want to start there. But check out this nice little skinny guy next to that guy I can put my feet on. Should be able to make a ways up and hopefully transfer across and then climb all the way up. So the actual distance was further than I thought, which means I'm not going to make it across, but I did see one more way to try and make it. I'm going to try and wedge between these two trees until I can get high enough to grab these branches. Alright, it's a narrow wedge, so we'll see if I can even do it, but I think I might want to put my back into it and then maybe just go like this until I get high enough to wedge it easier. Oh no, that's... I realize the branches are gonna be kind of hard to reach, but I got it. Whew. All right, getting down from here, I might just have to slide down the tree I'm on. Just rest for a second. All right, so first I gotta get past this little cluster of branches, which is gonna be a little bit awkward, especially where I'm sitting on dead branches right here. They're not totally dead. You can see they've been trimmed off recently, so they still have some support, but I don't want to rely on them too much. So these are going to be my safeties. So those are definitely alive and strong. Creep my way through this. Okay, this next part's actually a bigger gap than I realized. Trying to get up to those branches, I can't rely on these tiny ones. So I'm gonna rest here again for a second. When resting, my goal is to just spread my weight out as much as I can on the branches, so I'm not just, so all my weight isn't on just one branch. And then to rest my arms as much as possible. I'm glad I made the challenge. I knew it was going to be tricky to get the wedge transfer to the branches. It wasn't as hard as I thought it would be, but it still was a little precarious because of how high it is doing a wedge. I'm just always worried about my feet slipping on those, but I felt pretty secure going up on this one. Just took it slow and easy. All right, let's see if this is even feasible. So right now I'm kind of mapping my path so I know the safest possible way to do it. Mainly I'm gonna have to just rely on these until I can reach up to there. In this case I might actually just try to use more of the trunk as my security. Oh, this is awkward. There we go. All right. If I'm a little bit unsure of a branch, I'll give it a good tug out further to see how healthy it is. So if it feels sturdy out there, then I know for sure I'm just golden to hold my weight here. This is just an awkward setup because all the branches are on one side, so I'm kind of having to squeeze myself through the branches as I go up because I still don't want to put all my weight on the outside of the branches. I want to still stay close to the trunk just for safety. Always remember, have an idea of how you're getting back down from where you came. Practice getting down before going all the way up. Luckily, this is a big solid one, so I'm gonna just put all my weight there. Yeah. Whew, okay, this is a good perch. Nice solid branch that I trust my weight on. The key with doing these high ones is to stay present, stay focused, but also rest as much as you need to. You don't ever want to like totally exert yourself, especially when it's a precarious climb. If it's a cozy climb with lots of branches, then yeah, I'll go fast and have fun with it. But one like this, where there's so few branches and I have to be more careful with the ones I use, it's just taking my time, going slow, conserving my strength so that I'm always ready to catch myself or get myself out of a situation. Okay, that one's definitely dead, so I'm gonna test it just to know how sturdy it is. It's still fairly sturdy, like pushing it out here and it's not cracking. It's definitely dead. I know I can use it, but I wouldn't use one like this as a life support. It would only be to like aid in getting to a next hold, but I would always have another hold as my safety. I feel like once I get up here, there's quite a few big branches, so climbing shouldn't be too bad after this point. See, I'm using my foot on this dead one, but I'm putting my foot against the trunk, so I'm not really using it. And then this is my main hold. As I put my weight on it, I still have a safe hold there. Where you can start feeling the tree sway, which is a whole different experience. You wouldn't think it would be a big deal, but once you're that high and you're feeling the tree move, it's takes getting used to. I just trust the health of the tree and know that I'm not going wild on it. This is a good climb though. Hasn't been too windy today, but it has the last few days. If it starts getting real gusty, then I'll start going down so I'm not way up in the tree when there's a strong wind blowing. Don't need to be an extra sail for the wind in a tree. This video is just kind of meant to show you the process of approaching a tree climb, what's going through my head, my thoughts, how I'm thinking about it. Most of the time when I film tree climbing videos, I've already climbed it a few times so I can do it more proficiently and make it more interesting to watch. But I decided to experiment with this kind of video. Let me know what you guys think of it. Woo, look at that sway. You can see the trees up above moving around. Probably get a little higher and transfer to that tree, but I wouldn't want to have to get down from that tree because that's a long fireman pole slide. This spot is awkward. There's no good branches to grab above me, and trying to get my legs through this weird part. I think I'm gonna come on the outside here. Wind's starting to pick up a bit, which is always a little precarious. Now I can get up a little bit higher. Okay, that's really scary. The wind blowing. I know Leo Urban just swings them back and forth like they're nothing. I'm sure they're plenty sturdy for that, but I haven't gotten used to that feeling with, at least with this tree. I found when I've spent a lot of time way up in a tree, you start to kind of get familiar with the sway of that tree and realize like, okay, it's not going anywhere, it's plenty sturdy. But when you're not familiar, it just feels like, oh, it's tipping, there it goes. But I think this is where I'm gonna call it. Pretty good height. I'm probably at least 60 feet, maybe 50. It's hard to tell. All right, coming down. The scarier part. Yeah, so that whole time as I was going up, I'm like, if I'm at a tricky spot as I'm going up, I'm thinking about, okay, if I had to go down this, how would I feel about it? And for the most part, everything is like, okay, I would feel comfortable. When I'm going down, I'm just always trying to keep my feet towards the trunk, because the trunk is a lifeline. I can just bear hug it like this and I'm not going anywhere. So as long as I keep my feet in a position where I can bear hug it like that if I need to, so I'm always precarious about going to the outside where my feet are exposed like this, because if something went, I'd have to quickly try and swing myself in, and just don't want to be in that position. See, this is my cozy spot right here. This is where I can relax and enjoy being up in the tree. So I'm on this nice big branch, not as high where it's not teetering as much, and I'm not on tiny branches. This is like my hangout spot of a tree, getting as high as I can where I'm just comfortable chilling.
There's a phone and a tripod.
If I'm quiet, people never notice me up in a tree. And I never know if I should say something, because they were looking at my stuff like, whose stuff is this just lying around? But sometimes I just don't want to scare them. If they start messing with it, then I'll shout down. But if they just leave it be, then I'll leave them in ignorance of who that stuff belongs to. This is going to be a little precarious of a drop down here. I think I'm going to just hug the trunk with my feet to come around to the outside. So I'm going to have to bear hug slide near the bottom of this, but I'm going to want to make sure I have a lot of energy for that, just because it is a little taxing doing that. And if it's high enough, you know, don't want to get worn out doing the bear slide. Now the thing with the bear hug slide, I don't want to have to be hitting branches as I'm going down, so the key is to try and get around those before I'm fully committed to the slide. Unless there's big branches I can land on and then take a break from it, but this is not the case. They're just tiny branches I'd be snapping off. Oh yeah, that was an easy slide. Wasn't as far up as I thought. Actually, while I got you here, I have one more challenge I wanted to go try while I'm in this area. Calling this clump of dirt, land on the tree, don't fall in the water. Well, there you go. What went from one interesting challenge that I couldn't do, found a new challenge, and hopefully still made an interesting video, at least for people who are into the tree climbing stuff. I know I do a wide variety of things on my channel, so it brings in a lot of different demographics of people. So for those who are into the tree climbing stuff or just enjoy watching it, then this video was for you. And let me know if you'd like to see more long form tree climb videos like this. If not, I'll just stick to posting the highlights, the fun stuff I do. But anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.